All right. I think we are here. Let me just put on my big t-shirt. By the way, I love the tees, the long sleeve tees, big. Um, Welcome to the summer highlights overview. I am sitting in our wonderful, vibey window. And I am just really excited about the summer. I sent out an email today titled, "What is Love?" So when we met with all of the teachers back in um, the beginning of May to plan the summer season, I asked everybody like to just intuitively feel into a word after a brief guided meditation. And there were three. Mine was love. I just felt this big call this summer to like invite you guys into love and not like loving yourself, not loving your neighbor as yourself, not loving your partner, how to love your kids, but like specifically loving your life. And then one of the words was joy. And the joy to me is not just these big mountaintop fountainous moments. Joy is subtle. It's that possibility of satisfaction, and then being able to be so aware and evolved in your consciousness, right? In this email that I wrote today, I defined consciousness like being aware of thought, being aware of emotion, being aware of what's outside of you. And when you do commit to evolving your consciousness, number one, you got work to do because that really means being aware of your thoughts. And in yoga, we talk about cultivating a relationship with opposites, understanding the whole, union, yoga. And so some of these thoughts that you're having are from beliefs that might stand a chance, like might really present an opportunity, would be a better way to say that, of like, what's the opposite of that belief? And do you need to create room for it? And in that, I really do think that there's a possibility for more joy, even in trying circumstances. Um, and then one of the, I think it was Mandy, her words were two, calm momentum. And I love that too, because our culture defines this like idea of momentum as like work energy. But like, I'm talking about wave energy, like calm momentum. And waves aren't always, these sweet little things. They come crashing, right? But then they have this just rhythm to them that is quite calming. So love, joy, calm, momentum. These are our words for this summer. And the invitation to you is to really look at your summer not as a schedule. I all of the studio is designed based on what I hear you guys saying. And the thing I hear the most is, oh, my summer schedule. My schedule's going to free up in the summer. My schedule gets so busy in the summer. I'll have to see what my schedule is this summer. I haven't yet figured out the kids' schedule this summer. It will just depend on what my schedule looks like this summer. And I was like, when did summer become a schedule? In my childhood years of summerhood was not a schedule. It was a season. It was a season of catching fireflies and running around and drinking out of a hose and making things and going to the library and spending hot afternoons in the cool indoors or in the shade, having R&R time. Like it was a season, and I don't know why we lose that as adults. So the main event this summer is to really kind of tap into that. We did this last year, kind of like low under the radar, just to kind of experiment. And we're bringing it back now full on. So we did a play day. And oh, let's see here. Hey, welcome. I am recording, FYI. Um, I was just about to start talking about the play day in August, so you have perfect timing. Um, Let me just get this. Beep, bop, beep. So, was just talking about how like summer has become a schedule for so many people, and my invitation is for summer to be a season. And to really kind of bring back what I relate summer to as a kid, which is like catching fireflies, running around, like adventuring, getting books from the library, having like downtime to just chill. And that is kind of the main motivation behind the summer yoga lake day in August. Hey, dude. So the summer yoga lake day, we have reserved the entire Lost Hill Lake property. So if you're not familiar, Lost Hill Lake is in St. Clair, Missouri, which is about 45 minutes drive from Webster. And we already have all of the glamping units sold out. We do have some camping and RV hookups available. So if you're interested, just email ohm@ohmoldorchard.com and I'll give you the rates for that. I'm not sure how many people are interested in camping and not in glamping units, so I didn't go through the marketing effort of getting that all laid out. So I'll just handle those as they come in. But on August 13th, which is the Thursday, we are going to have crafts for kids, games for kids, music going, vibes galore. They have a 15-acre lake with rope swings and paddle boards and kayaks, and we'll have some yoga offered throughout the day where there will be babysitters on hand and folks leading crafts so the parents can go and take the yoga class. We'll also do some kid-friendly yoga throughout the day, water games. Um, Everybody can just come out, pack a picnic lunch. The pricing for this is where being outside of the box does require everybody's patience because it's a little bit, in order for people to use their credits, there's two steps to the process. So if you are a studio account holder and you would like to use your credits, so it's 2 credits per person for the event on August 13th, and that is 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At Lost Hill Lake, full access to the grounds. What you do is you register yourself for the event. When you go and register, you'll have the option to use 2 credits to do so. Got it? And then you'll get an email confirmation with a link to add your kids or your guests. So this is, even though it's family friendly, if 2 friends wanted to come and just enjoy being out on the water and doing some yoga and hiking, you can hike up to the bluffs, which is really cool. Um, you're more than welcome to come. So what will happen if you are a studio account holder and you want to use your credits, you'll register yourself, you'll get the email confirmation, you'll click the link to register your guest or your kids. We want their ages so we can plan appropriate crafts and games. And then I will just manually deduct the credits for the additional guests or kids who are 4 years old or over. Your registration includes a child 3 or under. Make sense? All right, cool. Um, if you want to use credits for this event, you have to register by Sunday, June 21st with your credits. After the 21st, you will no longer be able to use your credits. You'll just have to buy a pass, which is no big deal, but it is something that I need in order to manage the event. I need to know who's using credits ahead of time so I know what we can plan and what we're doing. Um, so if you do not have a studio account, or if you prefer to not use your credits, when you sign up, you'll still just sign up for the main person in charge of your party, and you'll click View Pricing Options, and you'll have a pass for 1 person, a pass for 2 people, a pass for 3, people, 4 people, and then a group of 8 or more. So, Lori, since I know you're on here, I think when you looked, I didn't have the 2 and the 3 on there yet. I went ahead and added those. So that way it was just, you didn't have to worry about going back. So, um, and all the details are on there. If you do register a group of 4 or a group of 8, then there's some savings there. So if you wanted to like get another parent together, to come out, save some money, whatever. All in all, that day is going to be a freaking blast. It's going to be so much fun. And the last thing I'll say about it is for glampers and campers who are checking in Wednesday and leaving Friday, we will be you will have a hospitality pass. So that's something that will be coming, which will include continental breakfast Thursday and Friday, a cookout Thursday night, and then we'll do a potluck on Wednesday night. That way, there's not the added stress of meal prep and packing a bunch of food outside of what you'll need to contribute to the potluck and for your picnic lunch on Thursday. So try to give you guys a little bit of ease. That pricing is being finalized, and I guess just to be clear, you'll basically have your glamping or camping cost. You'll have your special event registration for the Thursday programming, and then you'll have the hospitality pass, which will be your food. Make sense? Okay. All right, so that's our main event. Now I'm going to tell you about the things that we have going on that we've designed. So basically, what we do as a team is we get together before the season begins. So we got everybody up in the studio, we have food, we, kind of do some awards and recognition, and then we talk about the season and we come up with ideas. So here are some of the new things that are happening. Um, we have a lot of Nidra, yoga Nidra on the calendar. So I'm pumped about it. We have a new teacher coming on that we'll announce on social media probably in the next week or two. She is a yoga Nidra nerd, and I love it. She's a 500-hour registered yoga teacher. So that kind of commitment to study is just, it's awesome. And so she'll be offering a new weekly yoga nidra on Sunday nights, which is going to be so groovy and cool. We have starting, I believe, in mid-June, running through July. We have Wednesday morning chanting with me. We'll be chanting a variety of things, including some mantras that I myself have written, which I'm really excited to teach you because they're really they're mantras that I wrote, melodies that I wrote from the way that I was feeling in my marriage, in my motherhood, in my self-reflection. And so they're really personal and they're really beautiful. And combining those with like traditional chanting, I'm excited about. That'll be on Wednesday morning. So folks can get up early and take that 6 a.m. yoga dance party, have a little coffee, chant with me, and then head home, or come and chant with me and then stick around and take Glenna's 9:30 class. So it'll be a good little Wednesday morning vibe for folks. Glenna has been doing full moon movements for about the past year, and these events have grown super, super popular. Just as a time to again come present in the light of the full moon. And she is going to add to the lunar calendar a new moon Reiki and tea. So this will be a monthly Tuesday night, coming into the studio at, I believe, 6:30 to 7:45. I might have that wrong. It might be 6 to 7:15. She'll offer reflection and Reiki to the room, which, if you're not familiar with Reiki, I'll get an article up on Om's website that you can read more. But it is universal light and love. Like Reiki can do no harm. Like that is the whole principle of Reiki. And we have a lot of folks on our staff who are really passionate about Reiki. And in general, what I would say about any Reiki event is it's an invitation into like the theta brainwave state, which again, you can Google or I'll get an article up, which just allows you to imagine and daydream and dream and receive downloads. And, there's no wrong way to do that kind of thing, which is just a really neat way to come present. So those are new onto the calendar. And we have Reiki showers. So Reiki showers are different in that they actually have four people offering Reiki to the room. So it's a lot of energy. Um, there's an altar in the middle. When I did the Reiki shower in April, I had a full setup on my mat with like my prayer and meditation beads, my notebook, some stones, a picture. Like it's a little personal retreat. And so we have Reiki showers with four folks that are anchoring the room, just showering the room with energy, and you just receive, which is so lovely. In the email campaign that you guys are getting right now, tomorrow's email, or if you're watching this later, there's an email that will have the words clear signals in the subject line. And this is where I'm inviting you to really understand what it means to give yourself space to experience clear signals. No scanning your environment, no scanning the people in your environment for their human needs. Maybe it's your partner, maybe it's, little humans that you're responsible for. But to give like, no one's going to give you that because it's impossible for them to give you space to have clear signals where your nervous system starts to get really, really boring data, you know, like being somewhere where there's nothing henpecking your brain, asking for your attention, you stop scanning because your alarm system is like, all good, all clear, nothing to see here. And it's in that moment that the tension you're holding in your glutes softens, that your jaw softens, that your body shifts. And so these Reiki showers and these new moon Reikis, along with the yoga nidras, these are really where I want you to make at least one or two of those types of things to experience clear signals because there's little to no cueing. So you're really not even having to follow instructions in those. We have a sound bath and possibly more sound baths coming. So that we're doing there's a weekend in August 8th. We'll have a cool down sound bath with Tracy. And then on that Sunday, Jane Holtzman, who does the myofascial release on Saturdays, she's amazing. She also is a yin yoga nerd. So yin yoga, it's different than restorative that's fully supported, and meant for softening and release. In yin yoga, you're really actually holding the poses. So there's a little bit of stress on the tissues, on the joints, on the fascia. And uh, Jane has designed a yin yoga sequence for the summer meridians, which I'll let her go into all of that. You can Google it. So we did this collaboration in February. It sold out very fast. So if this is interesting, just go and sign up. I think I opened the calendar to let you book all the way through. But that'll be yin yoga with Jane, and then I'll take you guys through a yoga nidra. So a really good summer reset. Um, Susan Volken is getting her advanced Satya training in July. And she gets back on a Monday and she has a workshop that Saturday. I believe it is July 11th. The subject of said workshop is to be announced. Anytime you can take a class with a teacher fresh off of a training, do it because they are really, really lit up. So I highly recommend that. We also, that week, we're starting something new. once, probably every 2 months, we will have a foundational yoga for beginners class. And so there are two main things about that. Number one is if you know somebody who's like, I want to try it, but I'm not sure. I have osteoporosis. I have this weird thing with my back. I have this, I'm too active for this. I'm too whatever. I don't know anything about yoga. It's really intimidating. Number one, like Om really is not an intimidating place. If you're watching this, like really any class is beginner friendly. But we are going to start this foundations class with me and Susan. And I'll do a little bit of orientation to like how the studio works, explain credits, get you kind of understanding the background behind the studio and why I refer to it as my protest. And then Susan will teach a yoga for beginners. So even if you are like an advanced yogi or really experienced, I think that probably would just be awesome. You'll most likely learn something you had no idea. But like if you are new to yoga, or if you have a condition that has been preventing you from coming to yoga, what will happen is if you register for that event in advance, you'll be able to submit that injury or limitation to Susan, who, by the way, is a somatics professor at WashU and one of the biggest yoga brains I have ever met. She will specifically go through the yoga basics, foundational poses, and teach you the modification in this beginner class so that anything you take, whether it's at home or somewhere else, you'll know how to take care of yourself in a particular foundational pose that you're going to see over and over and over again, no matter where you're going. So really, really excited about that. Um, I have a workshop. I'm just going to keep rolling through. Everybody's doing great. I have a tradition every year. I guess I've been doing this for 7 years. I read a psalm a day, so psalms in the Old Testament of the Bible. Got some classics in there. You see them on doormats at Hobby Lobby. They I read a psalm a day so that I read the last one, which is like, thank you, God, for this, and thank you, God, for that, and thank you, God, for this, so that you read that on Thanksgiving. So it's a really neat kind of just daily practice. It can get a little rough towards the middle because some of them go pretty long. But what's helpful is if you want to do that with me, I kind of rewrite them from a modern American woman point of view. Because really the psalmist was just dealing with himself and his neuroses, and his anxieties, and then his gratitude, and then his grief. Um, and so it's really nice because in yoga philosophy, you're told to read ancient text. Like, doesn't matter what ancient text, just read old shit. Read it, the oldest stuff you can get your hands on, because you are able to understand that there's really nothing new under the sun. The things that you're going through, people went through in ancient times, right? So the Psalms are really great for that. And so on the first Psalm begins, and it talks about a tree. And this tree has a lot of symbolism to it that over the course of my study, I've dovetailed with yoga philosophy and with Ayurveda and the spiritual science of numbers and the pattern of nature. And so on July 1st, I'm doing a special workshop called the Yoga of the Psalm 1 Tree. And it's going to be a devotional night. So we'll do a little bit of movement and then I'll take you through a devotion that will give you a personal application of the symbolism of that tree. And then we'll do a somatic meditation called Earth Descent. Earth Descent is something I'll be talking about a lot in my classes in June, which I'll just kind of tell you that for now. But One of the things that you can look at in June is if you see a class of mine that has artwork in the title, then you can know that that class is going to be following a very specific theme. And this theme is going to be on evolving your consciousness um, along the lines of like a devotional love of your life. So get pumped for that. And I feel like I'm forgetting things because I just got so excited about that. We have the stillness training, that is in July. Um, that will be restorative yoga, Nidra training with me, and anybody who's done the stillness practices will be invited to join a weekly virtual stillness practice community. So the stillness practices is my pedagogy for teaching restorative yoga and yoga nidra, and it's different than other trainings that I've taken or that I've seen in that it is embodied philosophy. So it's really taking not just the physical practice of restorative yoga supporting the body. There's a lot of information about that, but it's using philosophy and ancient text and finding that somatically within the body in order to restore not just your nervous system, but like your understanding of the present moment, your alignment with your intuitive voice, your connection to Ananda, to joy. Um, so anyway, so that is going to be very cool and very fun. Let me just check my notes. Um, oh yeah, I almost forgot. These are like some of the most important things. I was almost about to wrap it up. Here are some key dates. June 5th and 6th is the Webster Arts Fair at the Eden Seminary. On June 5th, that Saturday at 9:30, Om Old Orchard will be teaching a yoga class for the entire community, free of charge. 9:30. It'll definitely be Susan and myself there. Um, and that'll be our third year in a row offering that to the Webster Arts Fair. The Webster Arts is one of our main partners here in Webster, and we are really, really like proud of that partnership. We will be present at the art fair on Sunday, hosting a kids craft. So if you come by the fair on Sunday, you can come by our little table and we can make a shooting star with your little ones, and then you'll get information about our summer schedule, be able to say hi, um, and of course, just show your support to Webster Arts and to Om. On June 20th, that is the International Day of Yoga. It is also the weekend of summer solstice, and we will be celebrating it pretty big. So Friday night will be a summer prayer with our ancestors. It was amazing in the spring on a Friday night, so we're doing that again in June 19th. And then on Saturday, we have donation-based classes at 10:30 and at 6:30. And then we have an Ayurvedic brunch, which is a community potluck at 12. Um, the donations for these classes are going towards the Oxygen Project, which funds programming for yoga in schools. And we are competing with 4 or 5 other yoga studios to see who can raise the most money for the Oxygen Project. So those classes will be taught by Glenna at 10:30, and then the 6:30 one's a yoga nidra with me. And there'll be an email campaign. So if you can't be there for yoga, that maybe you can still donate to support. The award is called Warrior One. Isn't that cute? Like WON. Um, and I would love to see Owen win the Warrior One. Um, and then on July 26th, which I believe is this Sunday. I'm gonna just make sure. July 26th. We will be celebrating Christmas in July at home. Right? We're gonna have a tree. We're gonna have stockings. Everybody's gonna get a gift in Shavasana to open at the end of their class. It will also be a day, it'll be the end of our summer challenge, which we're getting details together, but we'll do a summer bingo bango challenge. We'll announce the winner on Christmas in July. Um, that'll also be when we really invite you to sign up for the Holiday Spirit Day Retreat and give more information on that and pre-orders for um, holiday merch, specialized merch, and save the dates for our own for the holidays so that way you can get those things on your calendar. So, so much good stuff, yeah? Such good stuff. Um, yeah, we have a build your own retreat day throughout the summer. We have an hydrations, IV hydrations happening monthly and a special one on a Saturday. So I think it's July 17th, that Saturday. No, July 18th. Susan will have her workshop fresh off of her training. And then right after her workshop, we'll have a hydration event so you can get an IV or a boost. And then right after that, we'll have a yoga dance party. And then right after that, we'll have some Thai food. And then right after that, we'll do a yoga nidra. So that's good. That is all build your own. So you can come to one or all. Um, yeah, I think that's everything. So I'm so pumped. Again, the words for this summer are love, joy, calm, momentum, and we got a lot of stuff on the calendar to support that. As always, I'm so proud of our membership. If you're traveling a lot and you just don't see yourself able to make it too much, like no worries, your credits will be here for you. They'll roll over. If you're looking at the summer and you're like, holy smokes, this is amazing. I have time. Can make it more, get a season pass. Season passes run from Memorial Day to Labor Day. It's 15 full weeks of unlimited yoga. And if you want to do the all access, you get any special event, including um, the day retreat at Lost Hill Lake on the 13th. And and you get a discount for a massage from our in-house masseuse. And you get the fun and joy and satisfaction of knowing that you're supporting my small business, which thank you, right? Because I have kids in college, so I appreciate you guys leaving Google reviews and sharing and buying passes and buying credits. It really like I always heard like, thanks for supporting my small business. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. And now that I own one, I'm like, no, like, thank you so much. Like it really, I mean, it's my life, right? So it really does mean a lot. The if you aren't buying a pass, you can add credits to your account at the seasonal promotion that'll start June 1st and run through the 21st, as always. That's all I got. Do you have any questions? Good. Awesome. Well, let's have a good summer. Thank you for listening and have a good weekend. Memorial Day is this Monday, so let's go, team.
Yay, thank you.
All right, later, dude.
Bye.
Bye.